Alright, let's get started with a Winter Storm Kade update. Winter Storm Kade just brought 1.5 feet of snow to parts of Utah, especially Salt Lake City. They have a snow day there, and it's going to continue to move across basically the entire rest of the country. It's going to bring some snow down into Texas, some rain to the southeast, and then snow up into parts of the Midwest and Northeast. So we're going to follow the entire storm as it moves across the country. Here you can see this is what it looks like right now. It's still bringing snow to parts of Colorado and Nebraska, while Arkansas and parts of Missouri are going to be seeing that rain. By the time we move into Wednesday, you can see that precipitation has already moved down into Texas. So what kind of snowfall totals are these central states going to get? Colorado, you can see 3 inches, not too much. New Mexico could be seeing 3.5 inches, and then we'll take a better look at Texas in the upcoming slide. By Wednesday afternoon, it's really moved out of that Colorado, Nebraska area. You guys will be out of the precipitation area as it moves down into the south. So how is Texas getting this snowfall? And it's because of this giant trough that's moving across the entire country throughout the rest of the week. Here you see the center of the trough axis is right over Wyoming and Colorado. And as we move through to Wednesday morning, it dips all the way down into Mexico, below Arizona and New Mexico. And then it continues to dip down, and it's going to be all the way to the southern tip of Texas, bringing that cold Arctic air all the way down through the right middle of the country. And something interesting here is right when it gets to this point, think about how winds work around a trough. It's going to start pulling in some of that warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico, which is just going to drive the energy in this storm. We're going to take a look at that energy in a couple of slides. And then as you can see, by Friday morning, it has moved over Louisiana. And then notice it starts to flatten out as you move through that Friday. That means it's typically going to reduce in energy. Impacts aren't going to be as great. And you'll see that when we look at the Texas snowfall totals versus the Northeast, giving a little hint as to who gets more. And then by Saturday morning, it's basically completely flattened out. That's when the Northeast will probably be getting the tail end of the snowfall. So let's take a look at the south. See the low right in New Mexico, just west of Texas. Some snow to the northwest of Texas, and then by Tuesday afternoon, that snow starts to build into New Mexico and Texas, while most of Arkansas is covered in rain. And then by Wednesday, it kind of looks like it weakens. And that's because it hasn't started to suck in that warm, moist air from the Gulf yet. And then you'll notice, so right here it almost looks, oh, the storm might be done. And then, boom, it hits again. So this is early Wednesday morning. You see northern parts of Texas are going to be getting snow, some freezing rain, wintry mix in the more central parts, and then rain farther south. And that's just going to continue into 7 a.m. on Wednesday. Here you see that band of snow going all the way from basically New Mexico up through Oklahoma. There's also going to be a nice strip of wintry mix, freezing rain, and then basically rain for the east and southern parts of Texas. So even though that Arctic air was pulling all the way down to the tip of Texas, that's still moderated by the warm Gulf of Mexico. So even though that cold Arctic air was down there, you're probably going to miss out on the snow. Here you see by Wednesday at 1, the rain has really moved into Arkansas and Louisiana. And then by Thursday, late Wednesday night, that low has started to move off to the eastern parts of the country, and Texas is clear by early Thursday morning. So we're going to look at the snowfall totals first. Let's see, we got 8 inches in Texas. Pretty good. 8.5 right on that Texas-Oklahoma border. And even 9 by early Thursday morning right on that Texas-Oklahoma border. You could be at 9 inches of snowfall. That's pretty good. And it's, again, because of that cold air that moved down. And then that's going to move off So 9 inches. But again, that's not for the entire state. People often hear, oh, this is a 9-inch snowstorm, but that might just be for one location. For the rest of the state, it might be maybe 2 inches or no snow at all. So you really have to look at where those bands are really located. So I keep talking about the energy, and the best way to look at that is vorticity. So let's take a look at this. You see the big trough, and if you don't know what vorticity is, I like to think of it as energy, and storm development. If you have a lot of vorticity, a storm's going to be strong, and it's going to develop. If vorticity moves into an area, storms are going to develop. And on this map, you can tell strong vorticity because it's that dark purple. So right here, this is when it basically looked, remember Texas, it kind of cleared up and it looked like the storm was maybe done. And you can see that on the vorticity map, it's mostly just oranges, if even that, around the trough axis. And even moving into late Wednesday night, Thursday morning, still not that strong when it comes to vorticity. Still not strong by Thursday at 7 a.m. And then watch as it starts to suck in that Gulf moisture and that warm air. You see that purple band just from right here to right here. See that vorticity really start to kick up, and that's when that heavy rainfall is going to be moving into Louisiana and Missouri. And then you can watch right there, you can really see that strong band. That's going to strengthen the storm and give it the energy it needs to move off into the Midwest and Northeast and bring thunderstorms and maybe even some tornadoes to the southeast. You see it move off. Now remember, even as it flattens, there's still a pretty good band of vorticity. So that's why, even though it's basically not even a trough anymore, the Northeast still could be getting some snow with this. So let's take a look at the south. This is early Wednesday morning. Doesn't look like there's that much going on. And then by the time that low moves off from Texas, this is Wednesday at 1 o'clock. You see Louisiana just starts to light up with thunderstorms. And then it's going to move through Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, even parts of Florida. This is now early Thursday morning. Alabama and Georgia, this is where those strong thunderstorms are going to start happening. And it basically continues throughout the entire week for you guys. You aren't in the clear until 1 o'clock on Friday. So basically from early Wednesday to Friday, this whole area is just going to be getting hit with thunderstorms. So let's take a look at the Midwest. I'm going to go through this one fast because your guys' numbers are a little disappointing. You can see the rain starts to move in. Before a low moves in, it's usually bringing up that warm air on the east side of the low. So that's going to be more rainfall. And then snow starts to build in by early Wednesday. And then the bulk of the storm and the low pressure hits you guys on late Wednesday night. That's going to be rain in the southern locations, freezing rain, and then snow as you get up into Michigan areas. So let's look at the totals for you guys. It's not the best. You could be seeing maybe 4 inches, 3 inches in Indiana. Michigan, what's the best we can find? 4 inches. So not that much, but you'll get a little bit. So I thought I'd throw it in there. And I keep talking about the energy. So this map also shows it. This is the jet stream. You can see it's mostly reds. That indicates not as much energy. And then watch as it starts to pull up that air. Think about how the winds are going around the jet stream. They're going to be doing a big U right under Texas. And then right when it starts to hit that I think I said Gulf Stream. I meant Gulf of Mexico. Right as it hits that, you can see those red bands turn to yellow, which indicates more energy. And you can see how deep that trough is digging. And that's going to move off through the rest of the country. So last but not least, let's take a look at the Northeast. It's going to start out as rain on Wednesday at 1 o'clock. And then by Thursday at 1 o'clock in the morning, basically all of Pennsylvania is covered in freezing rain. Parts of New York are getting snow. And then that's going to move off by Thursday at 7 a.m. Well, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, you guys are going to be getting some snowfall, while basically all of Connecticut is covered in freezing rain, and southern parts of New York see that freezing rain as well. And then by Thursday at 1 o'clock, Maine is still getting some snow. The low is right over Pennsylvania, but they might just be getting some rainfall. And then after that, by late Thursday night to early Friday morning, some rain's going to fill in. And then a little bit of snow towards early Friday. The low is sitting right below Pennsylvania right there. So you see all of Pennsylvania getting some rain, freezing rain for Vermont and New Hampshire. Low moves into New York, and it is gone by 1 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. So let's quickly look at some of your guys' totals. 4-5 inches in New York, maybe 5 inches in Vermont, possibly New Hampshire, could be getting into that 5-inch range. While Maine, you're going to be more 3 inches, and then maybe 5 by Friday. Oh, and then look at that, by late Friday night and Saturday morning, Maine, you had that snowfall, basically that whole tail end of the storm, so you guys could get up into the 8-inch range, which is pretty good. So again, Texas and Oklahoma really get the bulk of the storm right when it gets that big burst of energy. That's really the most exciting part of the storm, but it could possibly change for the Northeast. You guys could be getting more than 8 inches up in Maine, and New York, you could be getting more than 5 inches. I will keep you guys updated on this storm as the forecasts progress, and thanks for watching.